We talked about AGROTAIN and AGROTAIN Plus, and for corn, we're talking about corn right now. We're going to talk with Jimmy and with Dr. Harris about rice and cotton and forage. But as far as corn is concerned, you have some updated 3-year studies to share. There's some great numbers from here.
Yeah, we do. We have some slides that we'd like to put up about some of our newest work. And our studies are 3-year studies, and it's very, very important to us when we put together data, and particularly when we're going to present data, it's important to us to be sure that we can show that this isn't a one-hit wonder, that this is the kind of value that the product is going to deliver over time. And so if we could bring a slide up, this is some work out of Illinois, and this is with urea showing a 27 bushel increase. We also have some work out of Kentucky with urea with a company, Miles Farm Supply. Miles Farm Supply is a very progressive multi-location dealer in Kentucky that does an awful lot of their own agronomy work, and in their case this year they saw a 33 bushel increase.
Yeah.
We've got some great work on UAN as well. Again, this is work out of Illinois, 10 bushel increase, and some other work that we've got in Illinois showing a 19 bushel increase, and then finally some more work with Miles on UAN. Now these last 3 were with UAN, a 23 bushel increase. And what's really important to be considered is that over 400 trials, our average yield increase is 13 plus bushels, and in years like the last 3 where it's been very wet, we've even gone well above that.
You know, we talk about that with many of our guests on the program that, you know, no one likes to have the kind of year we had last year, especially, but every year there is some kind of a weather situation in some part of the growing area of the country. But you do learn a lot when things are excessively wet or excessively dry for any product, your product obviously included, when it talks about leaching and the volatility and that sort of thing.
And our success only comes if we deliver value year after year after year.
And I'm sure callers, you're going to have those questions. By the way, you'll have a chance to call in later and ask questions of our panel. If you're not familiar with our program, it is a live program, and we welcome your telephone calls. That comes a little bit later, but wanted to set that up here, especially for you rice and cotton producers that we don't have a chance to visit with very often. Look forward to hearing from you a little bit later. We also want to make sure that we mention that the thing about these things that I like to point out is that they're independent, not something that AGROTAIN has done themselves, that they talk about University of Illinois or the Miles Farm Supply study, that these are tests that are done off-site, if you will, from the AGROTAIN company.
We do a little bit of our own research, primarily for product development and to understand what our products and how they perform. But yes, we've got over 1,400 trials, independent trials with 130 different independent researchers, and that's where we rely on our data.
So corn growers, again, we can take your calls as well later and talking about AGROTAIN and AGROTAIN Plus.